talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial.
Welcome to the CEO Show, another great episode prepared for you. But before we continue, we are very sorry that we're coming to you a little bit late, but nonetheless, we have to do it. Remember, this is a show that always comes to you every Tuesday, and the main objective of this particular show is always to bring you amazing guests and amazing personalities. We talk about different frontiers, we talk about different businesses and different industries, and today is not an exceptional. We have an amazing guest prepared for you. What are we talking about tonight? Tonight we're talking about the water business. Before we talk about the water business, we have an amazing guest. Who is the guest tonight? Our guest is Mrs. That is Esther Kiragu, who is the director of this particular or amazing business known as From the Farm to the is it to
from
the home?
House.
Oh, from the home, from the
House to farm.
house to farm,
Yeah,
or the other way
farm to
around.
house.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the farm to house, and she's going to tell us why is it from the farm to the house, and specifically why that name. Welcome to this particular episode. Remember that we are coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, and also tonight we are coming to you on TikTok. Please share this conversation, share this episode for somebody to know that you're watching, and most importantly, drop a comment on the comment section for us to know that you're part of this conversation. And in the course of this conversation, please make sure that you ask a question regarding this particular business for us to know that you're part of this. Welcome, Esther. How do you feel to be part of this CEO show?
I'm very excited and really looking forward for this.
Okay.
Yes.
You look beautiful tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Why are we talking from farm to house?
Yeah, the name farm to house is there because we are manufacturing from ground. We are bringing it from the farm to your house.
Okay.
Everything we are doing, we are taking it from the farm to the homes to your houses.
Okay.
Yes.
But before we even talk about now the business, tell us your background. Where were you born and where did you school to where you are? Basically, in a nutshell, because our time is much spent.
Okay. My name is Esther Kiragu. I was born here in Eldoret. I went to school in primary school, St. Mary's Primary School, and then I went to my girls Nangili for high school, and then I went to the University of Nairobi where I did my human resource business commerce.
Okay, the common question asked that I always ask people who come to this show, you growing up, how was the experience you growing up in Eldoret? Were you born in town or were you born in the village? Or how was the experience? How was it? How did you find it?
I was born in town, in Shauri Estate.
Okay. So in Ulem Seuli, Mashako Tao.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How was it?
Actually, from my home to town, from where the estate, you can walk.
Okay.
But fare is 20 shillings.
Okay.
Yes.
With how many siblings? How was your home setup, kind of?
I have two siblings. I'm the only daughter between two boys. Yes.
Okay.
I have a dad and mom. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you growing up, what was your aspiration? You growing, because sometimes growing in town was a different experience from people growing back in the village.
Yeah. When I didn't know on my own business, but I looked forward. I thought it was something very like far-fetched. So I knew I would be employed, and that's why I did human resource. And yes.
And your parents, were they business people?
Yes, my parents were business people since I was born. Yes, they had a hotel and a butchery. My dad has run a butchery since I was born. Okay. And they are also farmers. They kept animals, pigs, cows, chicken. Yeah.
So you are this young girl that was raised by business. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to help in the business a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ukifunga shule you could.
Nikifunga shule.
Ukikata nyama.
Nikiuza mtura.
Walai.
Yes.
How was it?
And that was my pocket money when after. In high school, during the breaks, I would go with my brother, my older brother. Anakata, mimi nachukua pesa na supu. Okay. So we had one was in Huruma and the other one is in Shauri. So whatever you get, that is your pocket money during the time.
So I'm trying to picture this because back in the days when you close school, ingekuwa tu ni happy nini, but wewe jioni uko kwa ile design ya supu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mimi na collect pesa and my brother was anachapa supu.
Okay.
Yes.
At some point, did it bring some inspiration to you, like this is what I want to do?
Yes, it made, my dad helped me because it made me feel like I can own a business, I can run a business. Okay. Yeah, when someone comes and they want to buy, I know this is my money. At the end of it all, this is this is my money. Okay. And when I'm given that money to go, when I go back to school, I feel this is my hard-earned money. Okay. So I really take care of it. I won't waste it. Okay. When I go to do the shopping, I'm like, I really need to buy those things that are necessary. And not waste, because I have worked for that money. Okay. Yes. And
now, Esther, being brought up by a family that introduced you to business at a tender age, that is in high school, do you think other parents should do the same? Like sometimes we don't know what our parents do, and sometimes we as parents, we tend to not introduce our children to business. And do you think it made some impact to you?
Yeah, it really made, it was impactful to me because it gave me, like I had the positive mindset towards business, and it gave me courage to know that when I grow, if you running a business has challenges, I encountered such challenges, and you see, like selling to run, those people who are coming to buy, some of them are drunkards, and they will go with your money, and you're like, hey, pay my money. You see,
so it gave you an opportunity to learn courage and confidence. Okay, but now were you discouraged by your friends because now your girlfriends were like, you need to party, you need to do this, but yourself?
I don't know why, but I never felt, it didn't occur to me, like, you see, okay, when I say manga wa Kikuyu, they look for me it was like, I'm looking for money, you see, like I need to, if I don't have this money, during the time of going back to school, what will I have?
But you're doing well also in class, and what was your aspiration, like now, going back to class, what were you aspiring to become when you grow up?
When I grew up, I wanted to do nursing. I also wanted to do my mom is a teacher, so I wanted to be a teacher. But then after I finished high school, I went to be a secretary of my pastor.
Immediately?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That was your first employment, or you're just doing it for the church?
At first I was doing it for the church because I went for packages in town. So during the breaks I would go to the church office to just stay. And then the pastor engaged me, started giving me some responsibilities here and there. There were meetings, Bible study I used to attend. And then I found myself fitting into the atmosphere, and I became his secretary. Now when I finished the package, I was automatically I became a secretary. And since I was born again, so it blended so well. Yes, so that was like my first thing. I was now enrolled. I used to be given salary.
How much was it?
Back then, 5,000 shillings.
Okay, that was good money.
Yeah, that was good money.
Okay, then immediately proceeded for your campus.
Yes, after that I went
Nairobi
to
University.
Nairobi.
Okay, that was for your bachelor's. Yes. Which course was it?
BCom.
Okay.
In Nairobi we call it BCom. But I majored in human resource.
Human resource. Okay, then immediately you came back.
Yeah, I worked. I worked. There's a circle called Kingdom Circle. I worked in Kingdom Circle for some time, and there's a welfare program called New Life Welfare Program. I worked there, and I also worked in Northgate School. It used to be called right now it's a Emmanuel Complex Education Center. Yeah, I've worked there. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now trying to shift now into business, and you working at the school that you're working at, and then transfer. Were you still having this urge of doing business? Were you thinking of business at that point? At what, or specifically, at what point did now business come into your life?
Yeah, you see, when you're employed, you find you're waking up early to look for money, but that money is not yours.
Okay.
Yes.
You're working for somebody.
Yes.
Okay.
You wake up early in the morning, and you're going to work for someone. I can dedicate that time to work for me. You see, so Kidogo, I started going into inclining towards business. That is what inspired me. I felt like if I am working for someone started this business, I can also start my own business and be as successful. Yeah. Okay.
And that time, butchery was still in your mind?
No. Butchery was not in my mind. I think butchery was just a nice foundation. But at that time, I think I wanted to do something different. Because you see, my parents have done butchery. I felt that I was not so connected to what they were doing.
Okay. Yes. But now, having been employed, having worked with Kingdom Circle, and then now working with this school, do you think there's some lessons that came with it now after you're no longer working there, but do you think there are some critical lessons that came with them? Yeah,
I have spoils of the war. Yeah, I have knowing when to. You see, my employer had given me responsibility, like going to Kenya Power. I was still young, growing up, and going to the government offices. Now I know this is what you do when you walk into a government office and also you see those are the skills that I carried. Yes. Yeah, and also confidence on how to tackle things and challenges.
Okay.
Yes.
But having been in that position, and sometimes we find that the current generation young men and women always, we are too quick to despise what you're getting, because I'm sure it's not that you are earning a lot from it, but it came with a lot of lessons. What can you say about those small jobs that you get small monies, now having impact of confidence and also connecting you to some 1 to 3 people? What is the importance of sticking to that? As much as the small money that you get, how important is it to anybody's success?
One, you build your career. Like when you want to go to another job, where have you worked before? You have something to put on the table. You say, this is where I work, this is where I work. It also gives you confidence, because experience gives you confidence. If you had not worked before and you walk into an office and you are looking for a job, and where have you worked, and you don't know where to, but it gives you confidence. This is where I have worked. These are my bosses, and it also gives you knowing how to live with people, you see, being sent around, and you feel like when now I become maybe a CEO, this is what I will do, this is what I will not do. Yes. Yes.
And now coincidentally, 2 weeks ago we also had an HR person, and thanks to you also, you are a graduate in HR. But now, how important is experience vis-a-vis what somebody has? Because currently we have a lot of young people who have graduated from universities. Thousands are graduating every year and going to the job market. But now it's disappointing. Somebody gets outside there just from school, and the first qualification that somebody needs is 2 years experience. Like where are we heading to in terms of absorption into the market as an HR practitioner?
One challenge we HR people have is that when you're going to look for a job, you're going to meet a HR person. That is the person who is supposed to hire you.
It's true.
And I can't hire, like, you want to take my job, you see? So the person who the job which you want is that person you meet head on. So it's very challenging. Yes. That's why you can sit under them. Some accept for you to sit under them. You become yes. And then you gain experience from there. And then maybe an opening will come and you will be absorbed into the market. Or you can just start your own business, because HR is human resource. Yes. And it's dealing with the human. If you have employees, and you have people working for you, you know how to tackle them because you have the HR management in you. Yes.
Let me ask you another question before now shift into about business and all that. You seated on a panel. You're employing somebody because that is a field that you're well acquainted with. Now there is this guy who is well versed with skill and knowledge, that is, he probably has a PhD, or let's say you have a master's degree yourself, and then there is this person who has masters, has all these papers, but zero experience. There is this other person who has 10 years experience, 5 years experience. Who would you consider between the two? Somebody who has papers or somebody who has experience?
Yes. You see, you can have papers, but when you put you to practice, what do you offer? But when you have experience, you've gone to the road, you know how. The work is done and all that. So what there are so many things to consider. One, this person who has PhD, what do you want me to pay you? How much do you want me to pay you? See, because you can't come to I have a PhD, I want more money, you see, and maybe you don't have that experience. So that is why people are put into internships. Like we put you into probation for 3 months and see how you can do the work, and then we will absorb you to our company and all that. Yes. But
we tend mostly to avoid the internship. No, not me. I need a job. But sometimes that's where opportunities are. So now going now into business, and if I can go directly, because we need to cover all this. We have some beautiful bottles here, and your water. How did this come into being, and how did you achieve to have this product?
First I used to grow crops. Crop farming. And that made me go and I sank a borehole for my irrigation and all that. Knowing in mind one day I will sell this water. Yes. So the first thing I did with the borehole was to crop rotation. and
that is now irrigation?
Yes, irrigation.
Okay.
So I used it for irrigation. And then when it peaked, I felt, let me again venture into purifying this water, because many people want water that is pure. That is what the market wants. People wameacha kukunywa zile za kisima and all that. People are looking to good water, to healthy water. So I saw that demand, and I said, yes, as much as the market is flooded and all that, I will bring something unique. Yes, and I will try also to get into the business. And that is how I felt the need to bring water.
To bring this.
Yes.
But now, before this, did you have any other business, or this was your first venture?
I had a car wash.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So many people in Eldoret know it. It was a very good car wash, a Supreme car wash, opposite Noah Pioneer on your way to Annex.
Okay.
Yes.
You had it.
Yes.
Means it's no longer existing.
It's no longer existing.
Okay.
Yes.
How was it running this business, the car wash? And what is it that inspired you to car wash?
Yes. What inspired me to running a car wash? You see, mine is not just a car. Was not just a car wash. It was a detailing. Like in Nairobi and other big cities, that thing exists where it's just not a normal car wash. They take your car and they do detailing. They wash tires. They wash the marks. They tear marks on your window. They clean everything. They polish your car under wash. So that thing was not in Eldoret at first when I was.
You saw a niche.
Yes, I saw a need, and so I went and purchased these machines called Ketcher, German machines, which are relatively expensive. So I bought them, and then I went to catch up in Nairobi. I saw how they wash. I saw how the machine operates and all that, washing carpets, the detail and all that. And so that is what inspired me. Maybe if you see there is something in other cities, but it is not in your city, you feel this is there is a gap. Yes, there's a gap that I want to fill. So that is what really inspired me to bring that thing into Eldoret.
Okay. Were you running it alone?
I was running it I was under support of my husband.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And of course I had employees.
Okay.
Yes.
And how was it running a car wash? Because in Eldoret City now is growing, and we are seeing car wash business mushrooming all over. And having been in that business, how successful was it?
One thing, I stuck to my brand. Because the soap that is used to wash some car wash with Omo, this powder detergent, yes, and the gunia thing. Okay. Yes, but me, I have the non-scrubber. Okay. There's just a foam that you spray on the car, and then after 5 minutes you rinse in the car. It's good. And then the detailing, washing the tires. Okay. I have special polish for the car. I have special polish for inside the car, washing the underwash and all that. So you see, when someone comes, the first time we did, it was free. We introduced it to the people so that they can know what, if you're interested, you'll come back. Okay. That was for marketing purposes? Yes, marketing purpose. So you see, people were like, yeah, you see, and many people came back. And receiving feedback from clients. And when a product is not available, they were like, I want that product. And yes, I want, you see. So you feel like you're satisfying a need, you're satisfying the clients because you brought something that they are not used to and that is not readily available. Okay. Yes. There's somebody who said at some point, I remember, this is a funny quote, that anybody who owns a car, the car is like a second wife or something. People are so attached to their vehicles. And sometimes we have scenarios whereby somebody will just bring the car to the car wash, and then this handler just all of a sudden causes an accident. We've seen issues. Yes. Did it happen to you? Yes. Did you encounter these challenges? Or yes. What are some of the challenges that you encounter running this kind of business? Yeah, one challenge with our workers, like my employees, is like you can bring your car, I'm washing your car, and this car is drying up. Okay. So, for example, I've taken some things from your car, and then I mistakenly put in this other person's car. Now you're like, come, I want to, and then you remember you. So if switched. Yes. So we we will refund you.
Okay.
Because you are our client, we don't want to lose you, we don't want you to feel like we are robbing you and all that.
Okay.
So there are those people who are not well experienced, and I had an incident where one of my workers crashed a customer's car, and I had to pay for it.
Completely?
Yeah, an amount of close to 100,000.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, how did you mitigate this now, ensuring that this doesn't happen again? How do you control such challenges?
One thing I said, I want you, if you're operating in my couch and you want to drive, you have to show me you have a driver's license.
Okay.
Yes. Because if you don't, you just know how to drive but you don't have a driver's license, I won't accept you to take the client's car. That is the one thing. Another thing, if someone is reversing, I want these other employees to control you and see and check where you're. Yes, okay. And direct you. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also told them to tell the clients, we are not, if it is outside our couch, because there's a client who will come and say, unilete kwa ofisi yangu. Now, that one, if it happens away
outside
from,
the
that
couch.
is the client's mistake, because we are not offering after sales service.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, talking about also the challenges that comes with it. Sometimes we have issues with burglary and what have you. Did you encounter the same? Because and how did you control the same? Because we have, in every business, there is always the risk of theft and burglary and all that. Most businesses suffer the same. And also fraud kind of mishandling of finances. Did you encounter these?
There's a time when we woke up and our machines were gone.
Really?
Yes. And
how did that happen?
We had contracted a security company and they gave us a security guard. And I think, I don't know whether it was an inside job, we didn't establish quite well, but we just woke up in the morning and all the machines were gone. Like the scrubbing machine, the carpet scrubbing machine, the car, the ones to wash the car, vacuum, all of them were gone. And yes, but we closed for only one day.
Okay.
The next day we had bought new machines.
Let me ask you, because we've seen people who have closed business because of theft, because of burglary and insecurity issues, because of just having, like, being hopeless again. I can't do this again. But you yourself, a day or two, you got back into your feet and you kept on running the business. What was the motivation? Was it because the business was lucrative, or what was it that kept you like, we need to buy new machines? Because I'm sure it was capital intensive. Where did you get now the inspiration and also the push to do it again?
One thing is, it was a drive from within to run a car wash. And I felt this is a good business. I had tested it and it was nice. So it was just a setback. But I said I will bounce back. Because you can't give up because something has happened. Yet this is ini kisima ulichimba. Maji kikuwa chafu chota, uweke maji safi and all that. Because where will you eat? You've invested your money, your time here. So I said, this is what it was my passion. And I want people to have good cars. I want, you see, one thing is like, when I come into your car and it's dirty, I feel like, what is, you see? But I want people to have good cars, nice cars. That is my motivation. So even in bringing up a car wash, I want people to, when they come, I feel good. They have cleaned their car. I feel good to make your car. So I was like, it was just a major, if I can get money and replenish the car, that is what, I did not even think twice. Like the second, we only closed for one day. The second day we had
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but ultimately you closed it down.
Yeah.
But before you tell us that, ladies and gentlemen, remember this is the CEO show, and our guest tonight is Miss Esther Kiragu, who is the director of From Farm to House Deliveries Limited, and she's telling us her experience and bringing up business, and also from the HR practitioner as well. Tell us where you're watching from. That's very important for us to know that you're part of this conversation. Just to check in, people who are coming in. We are seeing that just to appreciate a number of our viewers who are coming in. We are seeing that Oseki Itani is watching, Cecile is watching, Paul Njeru is watching, Sarah Siwa is watching, and also we have Machario Junior Nyamori is watching. Arap Meli King is saying that he's following live and clear streaming video from this side of Nandi County, and that is Kapsabet town. Thank you so much, Arap Meli. Nick Rotich is saying that good job, bro. And Kevin K. Kwambai, he's given us a verse tonight, that's Zechariah 4:10. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the walk begin, to see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's and also we have Brian Kichumbangetich is saying that great show full of inspirational stories. Chemotie is watching, Vivian Chelimo is watching, Ernest Kimta is watching, Michael Ndonga is watching, Fayodimta is watching, and a lot. Cherunya Kiplagat all the way from Finland is saying that this is a great CEO. Thanks. Isaac Koech is watching all the way from Elgeyo Marakwet. He's saying that he's watching from Itendo. Dominic Makori, all of you, you're watching. You're part of this. Cherunya is saying that he's watching from Europe. Thank you so much, sir, for watching. Yasmin Chelanga is saying that is following. Thank you for making those great comments and also being part of this conversation. Tell us where you're watching from, and also if you have a question tonight for our guest tonight, please drop on the comment section so that we'll be asking in this particular bulletin. Finally, you closed down.
Yes.
What happened?
Our contract expired. Yes, and then the
contract for
we had leased.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
your lease agreement.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So our lease agreement contract expired, and the owner was not willing to renew it, and we had to respect, because it's his property at the end of the day. Okay. So we felt like.
How did you handle these?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it was a setback, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did you handle
this? It wasn't really a setback for me. When I had when he told me a month before. Okay. I was like,
gave you a notice.
Of course, yeah. I felt so disappointed. I felt bad, but I was like, okay, my machines are still there. The only thing that I had is like I had prepared that place. You see? It was just a vast land, and then I made it a couch. I made it a conducive environment for business. Yes, I built an office, I built an eatery, I built the place where you get everything.
Too much good.
Yeah, plumbing, yeah, and all that. And I had put some CCTV. You see, it's a lot of investment.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
But I felt, you see, there is a verse that says, everything happens for good of those who believe in Him. Wow. So that drives me. Like, if anything happens, I feel like if God riddance, because God cannot allow something to happen. God cannot test you beyond your limits. So if he feels like that is the end of it, I have to. He is the boss.
But now you hate the option of getting another piece of land and then investing the same one.
That is still, you see, it just closed a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm still thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now getting back to pure sip drinking water.
Yes.
And you're in the process of telling us how this happened. And were you running this concurrently with the car wash, or this came out differently?
Yes. As the car was still operational, that's when I
you went for bottled water.
Yes.
Okay. How was it bringing up these? Because sometimes we understand it's capital intensive, definitely.
Of course.
How are the processes? How did you bring it into being? And just as we also speak to our viewers who aspire to do this kind of business, how did you ensure that this happens? Because I'm sure there are a lot of certification that needs, and you've acquired all this.
Yeah.
How was the process?
Yeah, at first you think I don't want to scare you, but it's doable.
Yes.
Because I've done it.
True.
Yes, but you know when you start something is now when you see the mountain. If a mountain is there, you feel like this is. But when you approach, you see that. But yes.
Big.
Yeah, but you. Haukufi moyo. Yes, haukufi moyo kwa sababu umeona mlima ni mkubwa. Yeah, you walk around it, see how, because from the the time I started this, I stayed for 1 year. I had paid so many things, but I stayed for 1 year without overrating because it's a long process.
Okay.
One, you have to invest in a very good plant of purification.
That was the first investment.
Yes.
Okay. Getting the first.
Very first investment was to build a house where the plant will be.
Esther, I got excited to see what you're doing, and that is also something that's running on our screens.
Yeah.
You chose not to come to Eldoret and get a house, but you chose to do it from home.
Yes.
Which is also something that people should always, you have to use what you have at hand.
Yes.
Rather than, because you would have considered to come to Eldoret, get a house which would be more costly,
yeah.
but yourself you choose to start it from home, and you're doing good.
Yeah.
Now, starting all that, how has it been?
Yeah. One, I had to come and I had to get the permit to build that, I can say a house, yes, plant house where I would put my machinery and all that. And then,
so even setting the house, you have to get a permit?
Yes, you have to get a permit.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
You can't just put something without,
Okay.
Yeah. So I went and got a plan and got an engineer. Yes.
Okay.
And then we constructed. And they have to come and see the environment, people have to come and see whether it's conducive.
Okay.
Like where is your office, where are your washrooms, where you have to provide all that. Yeah, the sanitation and all that.
Okay.
This is conducive because you're producing something that is it's
for consumption.
Yes, for human consumption. So they are yes.
Okay.
And so they come and see and they approve.
Okay.
The first.
That is NEMA.
Yes.
Okay.
When they approve now. And you have to pay a fee first for that person. You have to get a person who is registered with NEMA to come and
to assess.
Yes, after the assessment, then you get approval from the NEMA.
Okay.
Yeah, from NEMA, sorry.
Okay.
Now that is the first step. You've been milked. Yeah.
Okay.
Pesa ime.
Yes.
Then you invest in a good plant machine.
Now about the plant, so you have a good plant that is, I'm sure there are others.
Yeah.
What makes one good from the other one? Or what is it that you are looking at when you're carrying this kind of machine? Is it the capacity of production? Is it because I'm sure there is machine A and machine B, and then you chose machine B, not machine A. What is it that makes you see that this is a good machine for this kind of business?
The level of purification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I want to see that the water that comes is very pure. Yes. And that not even producing so many. Like I want to give the people water that I can tell.
It's about quality.
Yeah, the quality of water. Yeah, that was the first. That was when I was going to look for a machine. That was my motivation. Okay. Yes. So
installation.
I went online and researched. I did a lot of researching. I went to people who had machines. I went and saw what they are doing. I did a research for so long, and trying to compare, trying to learn, and then I went and I found this company in Riru, and I contacted them, and I saw they had good machines. They came all the way to install for me in Eldoret. Yeah, and that was another step. Of installation. Yeah. So after installation, you have to get the warmer people, those people who deal with water. They have to come and test your water in the ground from the borehole to see if that water is good for consumption. They see the salts and all those impurities that are, because water has impurities. That is why we are purifying the water. You see. Yeah, kuna salts that are found in water and other things. That is why now purification. You see, purified water, drinking water. Yes. So they have to see. You see, there are some water which cannot be purified. They want to cross on this one, ocean. You see, they have to come and assess your water and put it into through tests in the laboratory, and so they have, and then they will approve, and again you pay.
Okay, definitely.
Yes.
You have to get a certificate of that.
Yes. And then you go to KEBS, Kenya Bureau of Standards. So I went to KEBS, they came. They sent people to come and see and see whether I had cleared with Nema, I had clear with Warma and all that, and it's a quite a process, and then you pay, of course. And then after that, now you go to the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, yes, where you have to pay security bond first, and then after that, the operational money that you need to now be paying monthly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, for example, you always see that you have these tags for carry and whatever and all that. Do you pay per bottle or for carry, or how do you pay for them? Is it, you said monthly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's you can choose monthly, or you see there are stickers that they give us.
Yeah.
Now,
those stickers.
Yes, those stickers. When your sticker runs out, they give you up to, you have to use a certain percentage of the sticker because before you apply for new. Yes. So when it's about to run out, you have to apply, and it's a long process.
Okay.
So when it depends on your inadependa mfuko yako.
True.
If you want more, you have to pay more, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the stickers that we stick on our. Yes. And that is yes. Okay. And that is how care and you see there's a scan that KRA officials have. You can also have in your phone. When you find that bottle, come and scan whether the water is really 1 liter as it is written in the bottle, and whether it is from your company. Yes. So that they know you've, and whether it is because the other Mwitu, those, yes. Yeah, they have to, it has to display a certain color for it to be authentic. And in fact, in the app, it will ask you, do you see this color? Yes. And if you say no, they flag it. You see? So they have, there's a color that when it's scanning and they say, it's a green color. Can you see the color change? And then you say yes, and then you proceed to scan, and then it tells you this is pure safe drinking water, 1 liter. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And now pushing now the you've set all these. You now have the first product, the first batch, pushing it into the market. How was it?
It's quite it's fast, money consuming, time consuming, and you have to get good people to. You see, you can. At first, I didn't know so much. I was ignorant. So you hire people, thinking they are doing something in the market, and people are just stressed and not pushing. Yeah. And then you discovered you've wasted money, you've wasted time, and all that. So I had to go back to the drawing board and see how I can be able. So I gave them targets. Like if you have to per day, you have to sell this amount water, and customer follow-ups. You have to go and check whether they have finished the water. Yes. And of course when they order, I will see how the water is, how the traffic is. Yes, and I will know you're working. So going with targets, I give you a salary and then there's a commission depending on your target. So when you meet your target, yes, you get a commission.
How did you now do your market segmentation, knowing that this is having the region that you're operating within? How did you now segment your market that I choose to do, let's say, for example, within CBD, outside CBD? How did you now segment your market and know that my product is good for this kind of market?
Okay. At first, I used to use a motorbike. I have a motorbike where now if that person is in town, there's a person running in town looking for market. And then I discovered I can't just operate within town. I have to go outside town to go. We call them routes. We go for the routes. So I invested in a tuk-tuk. The bigger tuk-tuk. So I went to. I researched online and found Sonlik, they have very good tuk-tuks, so I went and purchased one on loan that I'm still paying. Yes. So now I put water. You see, you have to be aggressive in the market.
True.
You don't know who will buy or who won't buy. You go, whether they have water, whether they don't have water, you tell them this is my water. Yes, and you're consistent. Tomorrow you go. Tomorrow, the next day, the water that they have in stock will run out. Maybe the person who is supposed to give them didn't bring, and that is how you penetrate the market, because you can't say, how upon a certain brand I cannot. You see, you have to be consistent. You have to be aggressive. You have to maintain that consistency and say, well, if they refuse to take last week, this week maybe their water has run out, so I will still go. So we go to routes, we put our quantities in quantities, and we go to one. Yes. Today they will go to a different route. Tomorrow, you see, now we sell in bulk. Yeah, and that was what helped me to
cover the
yeah.
Okay, another thing that I'm so keen also to understand, you have competitors, there are quite a number. How do you now put yourself on ahead of the market and also make sure that people will buy pure seal and not product B? What is it that makes or gets you ahead of the market?
One thing, I have to make sure that my product has quality. When you test my water, so many people have told me, you've taken so many water and your water is still good. And when you test my water, I want you to feel like that water is good. You've tested quality. So I have warned you, you will come back for my water. And second thing, I have to make sure that the branding is correct. I have to make sure that the security seals and all that, it's clean. You see, that is one thing of staying in the market. Number two, if you have a complaint as a customer or a client, I will take it positively and I will correct it. For example, there is something that maybe occurred and you call me and you say your water didn't mean, I will take it and say I'm so sorry, because sometimes you put them in bale and they are different baling materials. Sometimes you get another one that is lighter. When you lift, it's they fall down. So I will just take it and bale for you anew. I said, don't worry, just give me that water, I'll bale for you anew. You see, I have not told that guy, where was I here too? Kesho tutashughulikia. You see, yes, because atapata mtu mwenye ata, you see. So I'll listen to you and I'll be so keen because I want you to take quality. I want to sell to you quality stuff. Quality substance. Yes. Okay.
And then now, just a curious question. Why do people use blue kind of branding rather than red or different kind? What does branding do with your product?
Some people use red actually, I've seen in the company, but why I don't know, but why I?
As you talk also about branding, the importance of branding.
Yes. You see, blue with water seems like that water is pure. If you see the reflection of blue in water, you feel like, hey, this water looks good, it's pure. And I have tested in a blue container, and I have tested a clear container, and I have seen that the blue containers looks good, and that is why I chose blue. Because blue rhymes with water. Yes. Yeah.
And now, as we talk about the managerial bit of it, because I visited you yesterday and you are hands-on, you are part of the process. Most people find that people will practice what we call the boss move, that they just make calls like, you need to package water, this should be delivered well, but yourself, you're part of it, you are doing it. What is the motivation behind it?
One thing is because it's my water. You see, it's my passion. One thing that drove me was the passion to do it. Like, I can use the example of a salonist. If you're not a salonist and you employ people, when they go, and tomorrow you wake up, they have not reported to work, you'll close down the business. But because I'm using people, you see, these people, if they all go, my company has to run. I have to be there hands-on. I have to be used to the work. I have to be there. And also I have to be there to motivate them, because it's not like because I'm the boss now, there are people who are coming to help me. They are coming to assist me. I have to encourage my employees and make them know this is something that is great. This is grandeur, you see? And I have to be part of it. I have to blend with them. Because one thing as an employer that I have seen, if you want to maintain your employees, you have to blend with them. You have to make them feel like they are wanted. It's not like they're just doing that is, you have to know this is what I can also do it, you see? Yeah, that is what motivated me. Yes.
And then now, in connection with the same about you are an HR practitioner, there are different types of management. Talk about management by walking around, that is by being there and all that. Which is your kind of management that you think works for any kind of business? And who is an ideal manager?
An ideal manager is a manager who, yes, you're keen, yes, you're strict, but also you're soft. You can't be so strict and like you're untouchable, because someone will find something wrong and they won't come and tell you. Why? Because they fear you. Maybe someone will come and find that there's something going wrong with the company, and they'll say, See, kampuni ni yake, but when you form that employee relationship, like you're friends with them, they feel like, and some might have different ideas that will help your company. Someone come and say, maybe if we do this, it will help. Maybe you see, so you make them your friends because they are humans. The only difference is that you're just a manager, but all of you are humans. All of you have sites. All of you have you're interacting with the water. So if they might see something that we don't see. So creating that, bringing the warmth in them and bring them closer, it's making them be partners. You see, and they will be able to assist you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And sometimes maybe you're not there, maybe you're sick. Someone will, they might say, now we will do something haphazardly. They won't be careful. They will just rub, but because they feel like this is part of it, you've made them feel like this is part of it, they will take care, they will, perform as if you were there.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, mental health in staff and employee, and also in the current generation, people have a lot of problems. People are going through stress and challenges at workplaces. As a director, as a CEO, as a manager yourself, how do you handle to ensure that your staff are always in the right state of mind? They are always in the right mood to work, and also how do you address the issues of mental health? Because we've seen people committing suicide even at workplaces because they have borrowed too much, the expectations are not met in the workplaces, and ensuring that they are doing the right thing at the right time. How do you ensure that the mental stability of your staff is always at stake?
Yeah, one thing I do is I pay them well. One thing. Two is I give them a chance to tell me whatever they're going through. Maybe if there's a problem with the management or anything, they have been given a chance to air, you see, their concerns, to air maybe whatever they feel, you see. So, and another thing, I've been able to give them target. You see, appreciation. They like, I appreciate you at the end of like Christmas. We give them a package where they can go and enjoy. Give them a bahasha. You see, so tomorrow, if they feel like there's something I'm waking up to do, you see, like you make them look forward to coming to work, and I don't give them direct supervision. You see that like you're there looking, they have to feel free. They have to walk around feeling like, yeah, they have their own space. See, I have to trust them. I can't be every time, umeweka hiyo maji vizuri, umefunga. You see, I give you a chance to be you, to do you. You see, maybe someone begins by putting this, and me, I like begin. You see, as long as you're not contaminating the water, just be you. If you feel like you want to bail, like, you see, I won't come and like be there on top of you and do what I want. I will make you, you have to be creative in your own way. I will give you space to be you. I will make sure, you know, when I see something like has gone wrong, I won't just address it. I will look for a way and come by the way, this one, check on that. And check on this, and you see, we have to, you see, they're good for the company, because if this company dies, you will go home. You won't have, you see, I won't like, you know me, napata pesa. I'm looking for money. It's not about me. It's about all of us. If I go home, you go home. What will you feed your children with? What will you see? Yeah, so I'll make them feel the need to be here. I won't make them feel like they're coming to serve me. Like, for example, an incident, like one of what was washing, yes, my staff was washing the floor, and they forgot something. I was like, mkubwa. You see, you make them, you don't feel like, what? Mkubwa, kwani leo umeamua hivi? Lakini I have corrected her, but I have not, yes. Mkubwa, umeamua hivi kaya hapo ama, okay, anyway, venye utaona, lakini, you see. But if I tell them, burudia hapa osha, you see. And then there's a place that was a bit dusty that they told me they are clean. I went and did it. I went and looked for a mop and water and detergent and went and did it myself. So that, because I asked them, have you cleaned this area? They said yes. And I was seeing it was not. So I did, I was no. I said, okay. I went, I did them, tell them I went, looked for a jerry can, I drew water, I went to look for a mop, but I did it myself. After that, I come and, do you see any difference? And like, yes, you see, I have taught them something. Yes.
Wow, that's perfect. Now, talk about product development, about the same. Sometimes we see different kinds of these containers. You find that there are some that looks in a different shape, and all that, but you're used to these. What is it? I'm sure also, as we were speaking about it yesterday at some point, you're looking forward to also to explore different kind of containers and to make it more different. How do you achieve it? Because we've seen different shapes, and also it comes with taste and preference. How do you look forward in terms of changing your shapes and
when we have different containers that are a bit costly, so those are for customized. If you want a customized product, we will get that, but it's a bit expensive than this. So we have that in our profile where you have to choose if you want something to be customized for you. Maybe it will write for your brand or anything like that. So you will choose the kind of
the writings, branding,
and the bottle that you want according to your preference. But beforehand, we will tell you this costs this. So if you're ready to pay that amount, that is So branding and all that comes with
cost.
Yes.
Okay. Now looking into it, because sometimes you find that there is too much cost that goes into these, and also having talked with a number of people who do this, and there are some who have closed business. How do you mitigate to ensure that you maximize on your margins and your profits as you do this kind of business?
Okay, that is a bit challenging because sometimes you find, you see me, I buy my bottles, I don't buy from the manufacturer, but in years to come, I know I will go and buy from the manufacturer. Sometimes you feel like it's a bit more expensive because we are buying from brokers who source them from manufacturers. But before you buy from manufacturers, you have to buy in bulk. So you have to have more money, a bigger capital, and again you have to know a good. You see, we use other transport. Other people's vehicles to transport. Which is another cost. Exactly. And getting a reliable person, because you won't be going to Nairobi every time or whatever they are being sourced to Nakuru, wherever, to bring. So you have to create that chain. Finding someone who is trusted and trustworthy and all that, you see. So that has been quite a challenge that I am still looking on how I can be able to tackle it. Yes.
Okay, and developing into the next, what is the future for this?
My future one, I want
Vision 2030
or even yes. I want to have an automated way of doing it. Of course I will be laying off people, so that is not, but what I want to do, I want to have it automated so that I can be producing in bulk, time management and all that, and it is also cheaper. Because you see, I'm using machines, and when people say I want to be paying machines at the end of the month, no machine will come and tell me, except servicing and all that. And another thing, I am looking if I can invest in solar energy, because electricity, is quite something else. So I'm looking how I can switch to having solar energy in the plant, and that would really help me. That also it will help you to cut on cost and all that. I'm so keen also to the other day something without mentioning names and what has been happening. People have been talking about they have been experiencing some kind of sickness around, and they were trying to equate with the water they drink without mentioning anybody. Definitely. Do you think what we drink interferes with our systems? I can bring up with a joke. I have a client that has been my client for so long, and he called me and told me, your water has really brought me upset. You see, your water is bad. Nimekunywa hii maji yako na kama tumbo inaniuma. Hii maji gani? I went to his office because one thing I'm sure, my water is good. So I had the confidence to come to his office and niambie kwa macho what he is saying. You see, I went and told he's a very good friend of mine. Nikamwambia unaniambia nini? Akaniambia jokes. Of course your water is good. What I want is I have brought you new customers. Hawa nataka wa recruit wakunywe maji yako. Kwa sababu maji yako ni mzuri sana. So I was able to get more. He could have told me on phone, but I chose to go there and I met those customers. I brought them water and they take my water. So and there's someone who told me, hey, tulienda mahali fulani kukula nyama nini tukapatiwa maji basi na hebu nilete maji 5. That person is my client. And akaniambia maji yako ni mzuri sana. And you see, I have received so many I have people who have Airbnbs, you see, and when the clients go, of course, it's different people go to those areas and they use my water.
Okay.
The clients will say, hey, you maji ilikuwa gani? Ambia huyu anilete maji, you see, because they have tested my water, they have discovered my water is good, and so I get clients from, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to as we wind up, because I see that our time is much spent, and we wish to have this more. But talking about this, there is always the traditional way of keeping water, and sometimes talking about, let's say, for the lack of better word, somebody who can't afford this. We remember back in the days, you get your water from the borehole, there is a way that you purify, getting the chlorines and all this. Sometimes mtu alikuwa anasema anaenda kuweka kwa mtungi, that is, mtu alikuwa anasema maji ya mtungi ilikuwa tamu sana. Now, the traditional way of purification, is it still the same, or has it changed, or advising on the same, somebody who can't afford this?
You see, I cannot say that.
Going by tukienda sasa kwa village back home.
Yeah, I can't despise. I can't despise their way of doing things. You see, because you see, this is just my way of doing it.
Okay.
They have their way that has been working for them. So I can't despise and say that they're doing. Everyone wanasema njia ya mbinguni si yako, wewe unajua njia yako. So I can't say that they're doing the wrong thing. It has been working for them. It has worked for them. So I can tell them to switch to my water, because I know I have purified. But they can't despise what they are doing.
Okay.
It has worked for them. And if you can't afford my water, as long as you're taking good water. But of course, I am marketing my water, so I know my water is good.
Okay.
So if they can try and afford, they can come and buy my water, because I have received. But I can't despise them.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, on the last question, on the last bit of this conversation, now you just mentioned something that you're still paying for your tuk-tuk.
Yes.
And financial management is a critical key element in any kind of business.
Yeah.
Yourself, you maintain your books, and what is it that informed you to buy that tuk-tuk on loan, and not that tuk-tuk you would have considered even a Vitz, because also tuk-tuk is quite some amount. What is it that makes you think of investing in tuk-tuk and not something else? And also, why did you choose to do credit financing or debt financing to buy that tuk-tuk, and what is it that informed that? But before you answer that question, let me also appreciate people who are watching live on our YouTube page, seeing that Noelin Kibarbet is saying that this is the best show. Rosemary Mushero is saying that Esther is the best. And then Ali Masharif is saying that Esther kudos. And then we have also Mercy Kiragu is saying that, wow, the best I've had. And then Lucy Wanzema is saying that Hongera Hesi, pure sip is the best. Mashari Akure is saying that 100% perfect. Mercy Kiragu is saying that watching from Thika, pure sip is the best, all the way from Thika. This is nice. And then Terry Kim is saying that pure sip to the world. And then Wilfred Simi is saying that God is great, made the tiny seed become a mighty tree. This is amazing. Wow. Now, way of financing. Sometimes there are people who believe that getting loans is a no-go zone. But yourself, you're financing your tuk-tuk through the same, which is a good way also to you. Why did you choose to go that way?
Okay, at first I was looking for a transport that will supply in bulk, and I hired a van, a minivan, and one, it's hiring. So I have to pay for that van monthly. Two, it was the CC capacity for fuel was a bit high. So you see, it's taking so much fuel, and I also have to pay for the driver and for the person that is. You see, the driver has to be there, and there's this person who's doing marketing that is lifting the water from the van to the shops and going to look for market and all that. Okay. So I operated it for quite some time, and I found it was challenging, financially, time consuming, and it was a stretch. It was straining. Yeah, it strained me so much. So I went back to the drawing board, and that is where I wanted something that the fuel consumption was low. Okay. And number two, that was mine. I could not afford a van. Of course, fuel consumption is high and it's quite expensive. Yes. Buying the tuk-tuk on loan is also expensive. As opposed to buying it cash. But I didn't have that cash. You see, yeah, because you see, I had invested in so much, the machines, all that, bottling, the labels. There's so much considered, and so I didn't have that money at that time. So they have that option for you can lipa pole. They you go and sign and you write and they tell you the amount you'll be paying weekly. And then if you agree to that, that is I found that was the way I could go. My capacity.
It was within your
my capacity.
Ability.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Now, as we wind up this show, and because I'm sure a lot of people are learning a lot from this conversation. As we wind, if you're not doing this water business, what else could you be doing?
If I was not doing water business, I think I would do water business. I think, yeah, but there are other things like I could do farming, dairy farming.
Okay.
Dairy farming, especially here in Uasin Gishu. Yeah, because I have done dairy farming in Uasin Gishu at some point, and I have done it in Thika.
Oh.
Yes. And you discover that once in Gishu, you guys, you're lucky. Food is readily available. So
we are lucky because you're part of Uasin Gishu.
Yeah, I am lucky. Yeah, we are lucky here. If you go to Nairobi and its environs, it's very hard to get food because you see there are no big farms there, and people are taking advantage, and then people are ripping people off. But here in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu, we have bigger farms, we have hay around, we have. Like people have big farms, you can lease. If you don't have your own farm or you don't have money to buy, you can lease a farm, and you can. So my one thing that I can really do is get this good cows for dairy. Yes, and get the hizo machines za kukamua, electric machines, and hire people that will be cleaning and all that, so that I can have a supply of chain of milk. Yes, and you have markets. Kuna mahoteli mingi where and kuna ATMs. Yeah, the market is there. I think dairy farming for me is another inclination that yes.
You will consider in the near future.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
People will be hosting you in the near future as the dairy farmer.
Yes.
Okay. You are a mother. You are a wife. You are a director. You are doing all these.
Yeah.
How does your day look like?
Oh, I have coped. At first it was because I'm a young mother actually. I have a young baby. He is barely 6 months, and then I have another baby who is 2 years old. So you see, they came like papa. Yeah. Okay. How do you balance and ensuring that your business stays afloat and also doing your wifely duties? Yes. One thing is, I told you, bringing my employees close. You see, so they can man for me when I'm not there. Okay. Yeah. Number two, I have trained them on what to do. They have the template in them. So my work can continue even when I'm not there. And they follow up. Sometimes I pop in, sometimes I go see what is going on and all that. And I established a market where you see my water is good. People are coming back for my water. If you're listening to me, you should try test my water. My water is good. So you see those people have, and I also have a good way of like I have of marketing. Like I have used social media. I do it in TikTok. I do it in Facebook. I do it in WhatsApp, where WhatsApp business you pay for sponsoring your ad, and it runs in Facebook, and I have gotten. So I am at home, but I'm running my business. I am at home, but I can be able to put my ad on Facebook, and people will ask for it. And I have people, when I just make a call, bring water to so and so, take water to so and so, you see. So there is that continuous chain, continuous supply. Yes. Okay. Wow. Thank you for that. Before I call it a day, that being your camera, what are you telling your fellow women and also young people who are thinking of venturing into business, this business or any other business? And then as you wind up, also tell us where you can get your water. Yeah. Okay. What I can tell my fellow women, mothers, ladies, single people, female, is don't despise yourself. Don't feel like this thing is just for the men. And don't feel like you can't. You see, in Africa, people are like, mwanaume ndiye anaenda kutafuta and all that. If you're married, support your husband. If you should grow a good relationship so that watu wanasemanga waenda ile biashara mimi niende tupatane kwa nyumba, but you discover when you work together because you're supporting the same business, it's for the good of the business. You see, I have a positive mind towards the business, he has a positive mind towards the business, so when you're considering the business, it becomes strong because of that. And as a woman, don't just sit down, because the economy right now is so hard. You can't just wait for only one person to work. You see, the economy is hard. So you have to go out there and be aggressive so that you can have a lot on your plate. And you're the mother. These are your children, you see? So yes, that's what I can tell you.
Wow, that is powerful. Now, where can we get?
My water, you
can share your number. Location,
yes. If you just call me, we will deliver to you. Free delivery within Eldoret. For 20 liters, we do it at 450 with a bottle. But if it's a refill, it's only 300. Free delivery. We have the 1 liter, which are 12 packs, which is 390. And then we have the half liter, which is 12 packs, which is also 390. And we also have 5 liters, which is 150. We have 10 liters, which is 250. Yeah, to order, you can order through 0723 77 3097. 0723 77 3097. And the water will be delivered to your doorstep.
Okay.
Yes.
Pure for sip.
Yeah, it's very pure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Esther, for coming to
so
the show.
yeah.
It's been a great conversation.
Yeah.
Time has really gone. That was a good conversation. That shows that it was good. And also, from our viewers, the positive feedbacks that we're getting, I'm sure that they're learning a lot. Thank you for creating time to be part of this amazing conversation. Looking forward to also host you in the near future as the dairy farmer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our viewers, tonight for being part of this great episode. I'm sure you've learned something. As always, what we say, that what is it that you've learned? Drop on the comment section. Tell us what is it that you've learned from this particular episode, and be sure that next week again we have another amazing guest prepared for you, talking about business, talking about what they do, talk about farming, different kind of industries, and also tell us who is the next guest that you expect to see in this particular set. If you have a guest that you wish to watch him or her in this particular set, please tell us in the comment section that you're looking forward to see so, and definitely we'll walk around the clock to ensure that he or she will be part of this particular episode. I'm so grateful to have you tonight, and thanks for the comments that you've been sharing. Make sure that you go to Facebook, follow the page, the CEO Live Show, and also on YouTube, the CEO Live Show. Make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you share, make sure that you keep this conversation going, because it's about inspiration, it's about insights, it's about informational. Don't miss the next episode. Come next week on Tuesday, same time, same place. And remember, I'll also be your host, Dan. See you and have a good night. May God bless you. Thank you.
Success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show.